Today's episode of the Get Home Safe podcast contains explicit language that may not be suitable for all audiences. Listener discretion is advised.
It's time to play ball. Welcome to the podcast with no limits. Whether it be sports, current events, or random thoughts, this is the place to step in and stay a while. Your host is a proud alumnus of Rio Hondo Prep, a former minor league baseball umpire, and a man with strong opinions. Welcome to the Get Home Safe podcast and your host, Matt Ursuma.
Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Get Home Safe. It's Wednesday morning. I'm about to record with the one and only Bill Barnes, the retired police officer who joins us every single Wednesday for very strong opinions and very random thoughts. It is Wednesday morning, as I mentioned. We're not recording Tuesday to try to get this episode out early for you guys. Our apologies, but Bill got called off on Tuesday to another secret mission. And there's only so much we can do with our work schedule. So I would much prefer to have episodes out on Wednesday morning, bright and early for those that are early risers and such. But it is what it is. We are a work in progress. I am just happy that Bill is available this week for a quick Zoom call. And we will get out the episode here shortly with Bill. But a few things off the bat. First, another thank you to Chris Smoke and Mark Carson for recording with me on Monday. I thought the episode turned out great. The two head coaches of both Rio Hondo Prep and Pasadena Poly. If you haven't had a chance to see that or watch it on YouTube, go check it out. Thank you for all the support and feedback on that. I can't wait for the game Friday. Pasadena Poly, Rio Hondo Prep on the gridiron again this time to start the season. Pretty awesome stuff. So don't forget about the game Friday night, 7 o'clock, Care Park. And we're going to have Mark Carson back again next Monday for a recap of that game and looking forward to their week 2 opponent. So that's the plan for now. Things change, as you guys are well aware, who are loyal listeners of the program, but we have a plan and we're going to try to stick to it if at all possible. Friday, we're going to be joined by Rod Bazuzzi, a class of 1992 from Rio Hondo Prep, has been a police officer for Huntington Beach Police Department for quite some time now. He's worked as a detective in narcotics. I mean, a lot of things I talked about with Rod Bazuzzi that I think you guys will find interesting. Not all Rio Hondo Prep talk, just life talk and getting into law enforcement. And just, you guys will see on YouTube. You guys got to watch it because Rod is literally in between sets working out with a bench press behind him as I'm talking to him. So if you get a chance to watch it on YouTube, by all means do that. That said, I'd say it at the end of show, before shows, but I encourage everybody, please continue to subscribe to the podcast. Subscribe doesn't mean pay anything. It just means get notified of when new episodes come out, wherever you listen, Apple, Google, Spotify. We have this YouTube channel that's been going. So subscribe to that. Give us a like. Give us a like overall, and then each specific episodes. If you do like those episodes, that helps build content. So we greatly appreciate that. Comments, I try to look for those on the videos as well. Remember, this show, I want it to be very listener driven. It's not just me and Bill pontificating all the time. Mondays are kind of sportsy, right? And Wednesdays, you guys know we kind of get into the heart of things with Bill here with the whole concept of just current events and news. Opinions are still okay for now. You may disagree with them. That's fine. That's life. But anyway, that's kind of the structure of the show. And then Fridays, I'm still looking, recording with more guests upcoming. Have some plans for the near future with some of these guys, some guests and things, but going to try to keep that going. So it's been a lot of fun piecing this show together. Hard to believe that September is right around the corner. And a few things I will get to today with Bill. We have a question or two to answer from listeners. I want to talk to Bill a little bit about some of the restrictions that are going on. It seems like we're back as sequel, right? The sequel of restrictions, this addiction to fear, I think is what we're seeing in the country everywhere. Maybe addictions and restrictions, we'll call it. I don't know. It's just absolutely driving me crazy. A lot of other people crazy too. I think people are starting to get fed up. We have the recall election here in California coming up very fast. But this whole mandating of I don't know, restricting people and how they live is just, I don't know when more people are going to wake up. It's very scary to think about. And Maybe you disagree, whatever. Like maybe you're afraid. If you're afraid, stay indoors. Don't do anything. But like this whole concept of telling people they can't ever do anything, or you're a second-class citizen. I mean, I thought we've come a long way since having those types of biases and thoughts and prejudice. But hey, maybe not. Some people want to go backwards, I guess. I don't know. So I want to talk to Bill about that, other random things. The situation in Afghanistan has just gotten more out of control. And if you don't think, I know it's not America, but what's going on in Australia and New Zealand right now is absolutely tyrannical authority. I mean, very, very scary stuff. And you know what, those are nice people making those awful restrictions and just treating people like prisoners and such. So let you guys do the research, but let's get to Bill Barnes right now. My good friend, he always has a strong opinion. I haven't talked to him in a week. Most of this is unscripted, as you guys know, who have not, who are listeners of the program. And for those that have not ever tuned in to Bill Barnes, well, you're in for a treat, because Bill is always has a line or two that makes you laugh, and sometimes is over oversteps it big time. But that's why we love him. That's why Bill's here to get us a break from our weekly grind, and just a chance to share some laughs and maybe think about things from a different perspective. So once again, let's get to Mr. Bill Barnes on the weekly Wednesday weigh-in here on the Get Home Safe podcast.
It's the middle of the week. It's Wednesday. That means it's time for Bill Barnes on the weekly Wednesday weigh-in. The retired police officer and retired college baseball umpire joins us every week for very strong opinions and very random thoughts. Once again, here is the one and only Bill Barnes.
Hey, I'm recording with Bill Barnes once again, live from Rancho Cucamonga, California, up in his office/weight room. He's ready to go. He's caffeinated with coffee. So am I. Bill Barnes, welcome back to the Get Home Safe podcast.
Always a pleasure, or
Yes.
someone else's, my pleasure, someone else's unpleasure, but whatever the case may be.
Yeah. Much like your dating life.
You can, there's certain things that are going to happen every day. The sun's going to come up, and on Wednesdays, you're going to see my mug.
That's
whether
right.
you like it or not.
Whether
Yeah.
we like it or not. Yeah. When we went to camera here, when we went to video, Bill, there was some skeptics saying, oh, it's a great way to get more listeners is to put you guys on camera. Yeah. Great idea. So, but here we are.
I got to say, it looks like you've cleaned up a little bit around the casa. I still see the golf clubs. That's not a proper place for them. But other than that, things are looking pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of additions around here.
Good.
Let's not get sentimental here, Bill, but let's see. This is I keep track of these things. This is our 72nd time doing this, recording together. So time sure flies. 72 times now.
We started probably, I think, a month into the pandemic. So for 72 episodes, we've been living the American dream as far as masking up and keeping away from each other. We had a small glimpse where we could live like free Americans. And of course, that was taken from us.
Yes, and taken is a very, very good word. And here in California, here's my thoughts. Here's my thoughts off the bat here. You saw May, June, things were starting to go in a good direction. Here's what I saw: people start to open up. Even California, of all places, went no mask, and we were opening up. COVID was starting to die the death it deserved, and then I think there was panic. Panic set in from our overlords, our government, leaders, or I don't even want to call them leaders really, but they said, wait, we need more panic. We can't have this. We got to shut it back down. We got to go backwards. Delta variant. Yes, I know it's out there. I'm not denying its existence, but we need more panic, Bill. Some people are addicted to fear. And I think that's where we're at today.
Well, here's the way I equate it. I don't know if it's fear. I don't know if it's panic. I just think we've got a lot of very, very, very overly cautious, overly unscientific people who make decisions. All right. Here's my take on this. Okay, last Friday night, you had a lunatic, some whacked out jackoff that went onto the grounds of John Wayne Airport in Santa Ana, Newport Beach, Costa Mesa, whatever you want to call that airport. He drove around in a car. They lost him. He went radio silent, couldn't find him. So in the meantime, they shut down the entire airplane. I'm so tired, I can't even talk.
You're tired.
Airport. Okay, they shut down the airport. They did a full stop on all planes departing. Okay, everything just shut down. All right, shut down. You see where I'm going with this? One lunatic can shut down an airport. All right, now he got away from him. They opened it back up, and things started running again normally with some delays. And then they found the idiot hiding in a rafter or in a up in the ceiling. Okay, here's what happened. Out of due caution, out of a abundance of caution, they shut down the entire airport, which fucked a lot of people. All right, which made a lot of people late. They canceled flights, delayed flights, diverted aircraft to other airports, et cetera, et cetera. Now, the same people making decisions on an abundance of caution at this airport are the same idiotic knuckleheads that are making decisions out of abundance of caution to put a mask back on, to shut down your freedom, inhibit it, et cetera, et cetera. It's abundant. And my point is, nothing happened to anybody in that airport. Nothing. You had a complete lunatic running amok who was just running amok. All right. He didn't go run onto an airplane. It was an abundance of caution which shut down the entire airport. So when I see the abundance out of an abundance of caution, we are going to mandate vaccines, et cetera, et cetera. You know how I feel on vaccines. All right. I am pro-vaccine. All right. To people who want them. If you don't want it, guess what? You're going to fly in the carpool lane with one person in the car. And if you get a ticket, well, then you're fucked. All right. You chose to roll the dice, and and in this case, you become stricken with the coronavirus. And if it affects you in an adverse way, well, you had the chance.
You've made your bed. Now you got to lay in it. Absolutely.
Okay, that's where I've been. Now, I firmly believe that the government or the people making decisions would be a little more relaxed in their standards if this new variant, which they claim is affecting children that cannot be vaccinated from birth to 12 years old. If this wasn't the case, if we had vaccines for these youngsters, I don't believe there would be this much pandemonium in causing shutdowns. I think it would be, well, folks, it is a FDA approved drug now that the Pfizer is, and if your kids are going to go to school, they shall be vaccinated. They shall be vaccinated. And until that happens, and until there is, all of these drugs are FDA approved, it's going to be hit and miss like this.
Yeah.
All right. Once the hammer's down that you shall be vaccinated, and now that there's FDA approval on these drugs, private businesses, the government, which they're doing anyway, the airlines, which they're doing anyway, schools, which they're doing anyway, will have a lot more of a hammer to force it. Now, we can't live like this forever. We cannot.
Don't hold your breath. Some people seem to want this.
Look, here's the deal. The only time I wear a mask, and again, I'm vaccinated, and I they say you can still get it, and it's not going to kill you or hospitalize you. Well, I'll take that chance.
Yeah.
Right? I got vaccinated, and a lot of people like me have, guys I work with, and we've all said, look, I'm not going to stop living. I like to go to bars. I like to go to restaurants. I like to go places that I can have some fucking freedom to do how I want to dress, and wearing a fucking mask is not one of them. All right. So I don't go to places in LA anymore. All right. Because you got to wear a mask there now. I'm not going to go to a Dodger game. I'm not going to wear a mask in the stands.
No.
That is asinine. Okay. And if you've been watching the games, a lot of folks aren't wearing them. And I say, hooray for you.
Yeah.
And there's not enough security people in the stands to enforce it. All right. So again, this abundance of caution.
Yeah. Well, I have some thoughts. First of all, this whole mandating thing, it's getting it's, for lack of a better term, it's getting deadly. No pun intended. Okay. What is happening with police officers, firefighters, nurses, those in the medical profession, being mandated to take a vaccine that may be approved, but maybe they don't, feel good taking. Okay. What is happening is that we are going to start losing we've already lost some nurses. There's already a shortage of good people in these professions. And now we are saying, oh, you're going to lose your job if you don't take the vaccines. Now you could say, well, what's the big deal? Just take the vaccine. That is a very slippery slope. The fact that we're okay with people in the medical profession or people, firefighters. I've seen a few firefighters who are adamantly against this being told, mandated, they have to take it. Okay. We're going to have, that tells me the government is fine with having less people in these professions in what they call a health crisis. So, I mean, which one is it? We've gone a long way without nurses having to take vaccines, and they've been in the heart of this thing. So I know most of them do probably, but those are just some of my thoughts. I think we're going to lose more and more good people in these professions when you start requiring this.
Well, first of all, it's not that easy. I believe that, like the sheriff said, I am not going to require any of my employees I'm not going to force a medical procedure on any of my employees, period. All right. There's argument whether this is a meet and confer item. It's a, where it has to be approved by the unions of these folks, the nurses, cops, firemen, etc. All right. You're going to see lawsuits. You're going to see court battles. You're going to see attorneys making a lot of money on this. Who's going to prevail? I don't know. Now, what I do know is that if it's an FDA approved drug, new hires as part of your employment, that can be mandated, and that can be enforced, because either you agree with our pre-entry rules or you can go find a job somewhere else.
So that brings up my question, which may not matter. If that is a policy, are we hiring the best people for the job in some of these cases? You've lived longer than I have, so you know that almost never happens anyway. But it seems to me that we are prohibiting the best people for jobs, maybe, if we are having requirements that discourage people to apply.
Well, is that person the best person if they choose not to?
Never know.
Put the shot in their arm to not spread the virus, so to speak? I'm playing devil's advocate here.
Oh, yeah.
Is that the best person for the job?
We'll never know, I guess.
Well,
we will never know. Those are just some of my thoughts with this whole addiction to fear we have. You said something.
Well, the addiction to fear can go both ways, Matt. The addiction to fear can also be that you've got some, you're not gonna reach the sick, lame, and lazy. All right, such as the folks that are, what's the word I want to say? Here to just exist. All right.
Yeah.
You're not gonna reach the folks that are ignorant to the whole situation that's going on, thinking it'll never happen to them. All right. Educated folks who make educated decisions both ways on this. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Such as yourself, you're an educated young man. You don't want the vaccine. Myself, I'm a little older. I feel that I'm somewhat educated. I'll stand in line for the booster. Okay. I have trust. Maybe I just have more trust in the scientists and the medical people that have invented this thing. It's not some fly-by-night, overnight, mix it in a petri dish and shove it in your arm thing. They've been working on this thing for 20 years. There's been all kinds of scientific data that had to match things before they even got an emergency approval on it. I don't believe that the vaccine was created by politicians. Politicians have spun it. Politicians have spun it. Trump himself the other day, in his half-assed way of doing things, said, I've had the shot, take the shot. And everybody booed him and they said, okay, well, if you do, you do. If you don't, you don't, or something like that. Okay. All right. Here's the guy that pushed the fucking thing. Warp speed. Let's go.
Yeah.
So his followers, are they truly his followers, or are they just paranoid, thinking, anti-government? I don't want to pay taxes. I feel the government's corrupt. I feel that anything the government suggests I do is negative. And that includes the shot, even though if I do get the variant, I may expire.
Here's what I have a problem with, Bill, is that is the catchphrase. That's the easy thing to say. Oh, people that aren't taking the shot, they're just Trump supporters.
I disagree with that.
I
disagree with that too.
Yeah, because there's
Some
plenty of
maybe
people.
are, but I was a Trump supporter. I still am. I took the fucking shot.
Yeah,
he's the one who spirited the damn thing.
Yeah.
He's the one who said we're not going to beat this until we have a cure.
Yeah, and I'm with you. I mean, and it's not a cure, obviously, it's a vaccine, and because we're still seeing. This is my thing: is we're still seeing
a cure to open up the country.
Okay, I'll go with that. We're still seeing cases. We're even seeing cases in those vaccinated. So it's kind of like, well, how good is this vaccine?
It depends on what kind of immune system you have to begin with.
Agree.
If you're healthy to begin with, I believe I'm a little healthier than the average 62-year-old white male in this country. Okay. When I got it, it was a mild case. It didn't kick my ass like it did, or kill people like it did guys younger than me, who I thought might have been in better shape. It affects everybody differently. Okay. Now, with that said, I hate to sound like I'm towing the company line here, but why gamble? Why gamble? I've had the shot in me now for 4 months, 5 months. And in fact, I feel healthier now than I did 4 or 5 months ago. Maybe I'm doing other things, but who knows? Maybe I'll grow a third testicle. Who knows?
I think this, Bill, I think most people are fine with the survival rate of getting the virus itself after all the data and everything. And yes, there are cases, and I know 600,000 people have died, not directly from the virus, but with the combination and everything. And yeah, to some extent, I hear you. Why risk it? Just be better safe than sorry. But I think that's a dangerous precedent, really, at times. I mean, never get in a car, then never leave your house. Then we get into all that, which I know. Okay,
agree. And until then, this is fuel for our illustrious government and political hacks to run with. They need to, and then they of course they show the stats in Florida where supposedly it's out of control. Well, it might be, but they're just gonna play through it.
What about the stats in Oregon? I don't see those out. That's what they're having, a huge outbreak, and they have the most restrictive policies out there. They're going to outdoor masks now. So the media, they can say Florida, Texas, all they want. They report what they want. Anyway, sorry.
Well, and they also need to put their money where their mouth is, and that is, look, we've asked everyone to get the vaccine. Obviously, it's not as fail-safe as we thought. Obviously, it's not a 96% rate. Obviously, it's lower than that, considerably lower than that. However, it does restrict the virus at this point in time to taking complete control of you, like it would if you were not vaccinated. Now, who knows? There could be 2 strains down the road that if you take a sniff of, it'll fucking kill you. Then what?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you can't forecast the future, right?
No.
I mean, you just don't know. So look, to those who don't want it, great. To those who want it, great. Let's quit fucking around and let's just let people live. Okay. I can't really think that this little cloth mask is some magic deterrent that's going to keep you from getting it, when in the deadliest form will obviously kill you. And, you know, when people are subjected to other hazardous material, you have a full bodysuit and a full mask of made of, you know, $100,000 mask you're wearing around. All right.
Yeah.
Breathing apparatus. So my point is that when do we say when?
No, yeah. When is enough enough? I mean, look at, if people are like, well, it's unvaccinated are the ones that are getting sick and are in hospital beds. And it's like, okay, then why do you care so much? If you're vaccinated, why do you care? You're lecturing the unvaccinated.
Because they're saying that because their excuse is that the unvaccinated who breathes on a vaccinated can still transmit it. And they wanted to get it down to where it's a 90%, everybody's been vaccinated 90%. And they think that would be this supposed, herd immunity bullshit. And then it'd be safe to fully open up the closet. I don't agree with that. I think they're going to use their statistics however they want to use it.
Yeah.
I do firmly believe the state of California will be in a crisis as long as a Democrat is in office. Therefore, AKA Mr. Newsom, who I'm speaking of, can use this emergency order, this Emergency Power Act to do whatever the fuck he wants to do. And God help us. God help this state if he survives this recall.
Yes. Republican, Democrat, whatever you are, I don't care. Recall Newsom. If you sit there on your couch and you can honestly say as a Democrat, oh, Newsom's run this country, we need more of him, then you are delusional.
Matt, the only people that I've seen say that are the uneducated, mostly minority folks that are sitting on their ass collecting his handouts. Of course they think he's great. Of course. And there's a lot of lazy white fucks too that are sitting on their ass doing nothing. So what I mean, the minority, I'm putting a big umbrella on all of that. The minority folks in this state who choose not to work, who choose to suck on the breasts of the state of California and milk it for all it's worth. Those are the ones that love it. Those are the ones. But I think those folks are too goddamn lazy to get a pencil out of the drawer and mark no on the ballot and send it in. So I think we're in a good position to recall this guy, because the ones that absolutely want him recalled are the ones that are going to show up and vote. Yeah. The ones that are complacent, the ones that don't give a shit, the ones that are laying around in their own feces. Okay, they're the ones that are just too lazy to get up and do anything.
Someone will vote for him anyway, Bill. Don't worry. Someone will.
There will be.
Someone will vote for him. They'll make it happen.
The Hollywood people, the Spielbergs, the ultra democratic elite folks who fly a 747 with 5 people in them and then order Priuses for their passengers. These folks that are all about perception, those are the ones. Yes, Hollywood. Now, if you're a Republican and you're in the motion picture business, TV business, entertainment business, you are fucked.
Oh yeah, you can't come out of the closet.
You can't be your true self.
No, because
the Hollywood elitists will run you out. The Oprahs, the Ellens, oh God, the list can go on and on and on. The Colberts, the two-faced, no good rat bastard Jimmy Kimmels of the world. Okay. That guy, he needs to decide whether he shirts or skins. Okay. Because he's never had an original thought in his pot smoking mind.
No.
Okay. I've gone off on him many times.
Many times. Guys, the thing is, Bill, these guys make millions of dollars. They don't care. They're just like, they're just doing it.
Completely insulated from the bodily fluids that we have to deal with, the human excrement that we walk in front of every day in this state. I mean, there was I was down in I was at La Cienega and the 10 freeway, La Cienega and like Venice Boulevard. I think right around in there the other day. Or La Cienega, Washington, right there where it meets. And there, I looked over and there's a guy who built like a mini little house under the freeway, and it looked like and his slogan on the outside of the house was FTP, fuck the police, and BLM. Okay, great. You're free to say whatever the fuck you want to say. And I'm also free to think in my mind that if I had terminal cancer and I was going to die later that day, I would have put my car in drive and I would have plowed through that whole fucking cardboard little palace that this motherfucker built. Okay. I'm just saying. And I know there's a lot of people that think the same way I do, because they are unhoused trash that is completely living the way they want to live. They're on a permanent camping trip at our expense. A permanent camping trip at our expense, living in their shit. Literally.
As someone who has been on the streets before, policing society, what are your thoughts? I hear this argument, especially here in LA. We have the homeless. It really is a crisis. I hate saying the word crisis because most people just put that on the end of something to make it sound important. But there is a homeless crisis here. And what do you make of the argument of people that are like, no, it's not mostly people, drug addicts and people that just don't want to contribute to society. A lot of those people are people that have had it rough. They lost their husband or their wives, and they're single mothers or single fathers. And what do you make of this? Like Governor I don't want to call him Governor Newsom too much longer, but Newsom says, it's not just drug addicts and things of that nature. When I think if we're honest, the majority of it, sure, there's a few cases where it's not, but what do you make of this false labeling of the homeless issue?
The false labeling is exactly to fit the Democratic's narrative. They can call them anything they want. The bottom line is they are bottom feeders and they are living off the big breast of the state of California.
Yeah.
Okay. There are vagrancy laws on the books. We can, if we wanted to, we can clean this shit up. If we wanted to, we could clean this shit up. But you have got the girly little pansies of the world, like Eric Garcetti and his city council, who placate to these folks because that is who their constituents are. Los Angeles has become a city of transitory lunatic psychopaths who are either drug addicts, criminals, con men, all the above, and that's what that city's all about.
Yeah.
And I would even venture to say that you have got those kind of sick fucks that are even on the city council, the Mike Bonins, of the world, who basically his whole means is to make life easy for the folks on Venice Beach. He tried to block everything done to enforce vagrancy rules on that beach to make it nice again. He doesn't care about people like you and me. He does not care. He wants to placate to the sick, lame, and lazy. Yeah,
no, there's no doubt about that. And you know what? Here's my thoughts. Okay, you and I are big. Oh, you've already voted for Larry Elder, but I fully endorse Larry Elder. Plan on voting for him. My thoughts are this: why not try something different? Why continue to vote in California and Los Angeles or where? Why continue to vote these Democratic policies that never work? Nothing has improved ever. Why not at least try something different? What do you have to lose?
The American voters are fickle as a 13-year-old girl. Okay. 1 minute, they love the progressive idea of everybody gets a piece of the pie. And when they see that pie gets eaten up real quick and they don't get a piece, then it's, we got to make some changes. We got to get some tough laws in here, blah, 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 blah. And then after a while, that gets old and stale. And then you bring in, you're right back. It's like a teeter-totter, man. It's like a fucking teeter-totter. 1 minute, it's the Dems. And then 5 years later, it's the Republicans. How about we just do away with what the system has been around now for over 250 years and it's broken. It's broken. Just like the media likes to inflate, or not inflate, but race bait things like white police officer kills unarmed black man. How about police officer kills unarmed man?
Yeah.
How about Senator so-and-so and Senator so-and-so, don't put a label on them, disagree over funding for the homeless.
Well,
Let's
yeah.
do away with the party system.
That's
Let's do away with the party system. Let's make it illegal. If you're a member of the media and you say white police officer kills black female, or black police officer kills white male, make it illegal to identify someone as black or white. They're making, the LGBTQT community wants it to where everybody is just one. Okay. So, okay, hey, let's do it. I'm all for that.
Did you hear? First of all, most of the media is corrupt. Did you hear? I think it was the LA Times refer to what they referred to Larry Elder as.
Oh God, who knows? Probably a white man in a black body.
Close. They called him a white supremacist in blackface.
Okay.
Can you? I mean, it's absolutely disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. And LA Times corrupt. Everything's corrupt. But I could not believe it when I saw. Well, I could believe it actually. But God, I hope he gets elected. First of all, anybody but Newsom. But Elder at least says he is, and I know all the politicians say they'll do something. But you know what? What do we got to lose? What do we have to lose? Elect Elder, baby. Let's go. Come on, people.
Well, the beauty of this is that if he is recalled, if there's enough yeses and not enough nos, if he is recalled, no matter who tallies up on the other side, it ain't going to be Newsom because his name's not on that other side.
Yeah.
Okay. So it could be, it could be, who knows? I mean, it could be anybody. I don't care, man. I mean, we're to the point where, Kevin Faulconer, he's coming on strong. He's kind of getting shitty with the elder folks. He's throwing stones at him. See, both the Democrats and the Republicans, they fear Larry Elder because they're throwing shit at him. Somebody paid his ex-girlfriend to come out and say he pulled a gun on her, which is complete bullshit in my opinion. All right. And I'll be perfectly honest with you. To me, it doesn't bother me at all. I could care less. But there are going to be some super conservative white males out there, and there's very few left in the state of California, that are going to look at Larry Elder like, yeah, I like what he says, but you know what? He's always liked white women.
What?
Yeah.
So what? What?
Yeah, people, old, lunatic, crazy white guys who are far to the right are going to look at him and go, yeah, but he likes to take our women from us.
I'll tell you this much. I don't know if that's a right wing thing. I mean, or whatever. I mean, you want to say old white men, fine, but living in a different time. But
well, there's still some of them out there, Matt. I swear to God.
Of course there are. There's murderers out there. There's all kinds of bad people out there. But to say that,
and I'm not. Believe me. You know me, Matt. You know my history.
I know you, Bill.
I don't look at color.
No,
especially when it comes to a lot of things. All right. I don't see it that way.
We got to be careful what we say.
All right.
Bill Barnes is
a full opportunity employer when it comes to the right man or woman for the job. Period. End of story. Period. Full stop.
Full stop. You got to stop saying that. What is this full stop thing?
That's what Newsom says all the time.
Okay, I know.
And I'm shoving it right back up his ass.
Okay, I just hate these new terms that are floating into our
that came from Newsom. A lot of his speeches, he likes, he'll say shit and he'll go, period, full stop.
Yeah, cool.
Which is a complete idiotic statement.
Hip, yeah.
Okay.
What are you doing?
So that is my way of throwing it right back at him.
Okay, so it's to mock him, not to get on board.
Yes, it's to mock him. Absolutely.
Okay. That I'm fine with.
All right.
That's cool. That's cool. Now, Bill, did you mail in your ballot? Did you mail it in, or what'd you do?
I personally walked it down to a mail drop-off box.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
that's safe.
No, I don't trust the United States mail. They can't seem to get a package of T-shirts that I ordered a month ago to be delivered to me. So I'm going to trust them with a sensitive vote.
No, absolutely not. Plus, they might look into it and see how you voted and
Yeah, exactly.
Mail fraud. Hey, I'm not saying anything. Speaking of t-shirts, Bill, we got a couple nice t-shirts on today. I got my socialism distancing shirt on, courtesy of the Hodge twins. What do you got on there, Bill?
Well, I've got, my good friend George Costanza, New York friend of mine, used to work for Vandalay Industries back in the day, and they're a import export number one in latex, fine latex goods. So George sent me this, and I told him I'd wear it.
Art Vandalay.
Vandalay Industries.
Great.
For those of you that were Seinfeld freaks such as I am, you'll know where this originated from in the episode. For those that don't, I'll give you a quick Reader's Digest. George was on unemployment. They told him you need to start putting in more apps, or we're going to take the unemployment away. He left Jerry's number and the name Vandalay Industries, and he told Jerry, answer the phone, Vandalay Industries. Well, he didn't. Kramer answered the phone and screwed it all up. So anyway, Vandalay Industries.
Vandalay.
Him, what do you do at Vandalay Industries? Oh, I'm an import-export, latex,
Yeah.
So it's a complete fictional company, and I saw it on online to buy, and I figured, you know what, nice conversation piece. I'll pick it up.
Yeah. We got to keep rocking. We're on video now. We got to keep rocking new shirts or whatever, just keep this thing spicy. So Monday I recorded, I rocked my old Real Hondo baseball jersey. It still fit, Bill. I couldn't believe it.
But so you were a fat, out of shape kid too.
No. I was now I am. But back.
So you wore it loose then.
Yeah, come on. I was trying to get hit by the pitch all the time. I needed the baggier jersey. That's hilarious. We had both coaches on Monday, Rio Hondo Prep, Mark Carson, and Pasadena Poly coach Chris Smoke. I went outside the family, reached out to the enemy, and great episode Monday, Bill, promoting the game this Friday. So that was a lot of fun. Got a question from Todd Carson. Well, excuse me, I shouldn't say it's a question. I encouraged listeners a few weeks ago to send me your Mount Rushmore of your favorite teams. And I didn't get any takers, and that's fine, except for Todd. And Todd had some throwback names here that I thought you would find interesting. Let me read this to you real quick. He said, here's my Dodger Mount Rushmore: Kirk Gibson, Mike Scioscia. There is no Gibson without him in the NLCS. Mike Sharperson, Lenny Harris, pinch hitters, right-hand, left-handed, utility players who deserve starting roles but were stars in their roles. And then Dave Hansen was another pinch hitter, and whenever it mattered, he hit the ball hard. So those are guys, not the best Dodger players of all times, but some players that our friend Todd Carson loved watching growing up. What do you make of some of those names?
Well, they were key ingredients to the Dodgers winning the '88 World Series. I'll give him that. And he's right. There is no Gibson without Scioscia. Scioscia hit that home run off of Dwight Gooden in New York that got him, into game 5 or 6, I believe it is. Anyway, Scioscia, he was really good that year. As overall long haulers in the Dodgers, I think he's about 1,000 miles off. But for the 1 year, yeah, I'll say for the 1988 season, yes, absolutely.
No, yeah, and my
and unfortunately for Mike Sharperson, he's no longer with us. He died in a car accident outside Las Vegas in about something.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And Lenny Harris is it Lenny or Lanny? Lenny Harris.
I think Lenny, yeah.
Yeah, who knows what happened to him. Dave Hansen, I believe, is a hitting coach in the organization.
Oh, really?
I believe so.
He played. I remember watching in the '90s, maybe, or I think it was the '90s. Yeah, pinch hitter, man. Always hit the ball hard. Loved him.
Yeah. So there's many heads that could go on that Mount Rushmore in the Dodger organization. Many.
Well, and it's so much, as I told the listeners, it's like, this is your like, as a fan or whatever, some of your players. So yeah, I mean, everyone's going to have something different. So if anyone wants to send in their favorite players or whatever, have Bill and I comment, be sure to send those in. Bill, a question from our good friend, Captain Maynard Bajorquez from West Point. He says, well, first of all, he sent me a video clip of Chase Utley breaking up the double play against Ruben Tejada in the playoffs a few years ago that made the rule change, right, for the slides at second. And he said, my question for you and Mr. Barnes, what are your thoughts on players breaking up a double play? And what's the worst collision you have seen in your umpiring career? So we probably have to go. We can talk about second base if you want, Bill. I know we've seen some collisions at home plate also. So what are your thoughts on those two questions?
Well, for as long as I can remember, when we're working college baseball, there's always been that slide rule at second base. And that big leagues have just now caught up to it. So I haven't seen too many, train wrecks at second base on a slide rule. However, working in some of the independent balls that you and I did back in the day, they did not have home plate collision rules. So it was pretty much wide open, as I recall. And two come to mind. One was in 2010 in Calgary. A Calgary player was coming to score on a sacrifice fly, and as the play developed, I'm thinking he's not going to slide, and this is going to be an absolute, complete body jarring collision here, and it was. And the catcher for I think it was Calgary. The catcher for the Chico team, a kid named Kevin Price. I'll never forget this. He was like a backup catcher, and he caught the ball. He hung in. He braced himself, and the Calgary guy just completely just assholes and elbows going everywhere. Oh. And I'm thinking this is going to be ugly. And he held onto the ball. And he came up, he showed me the ball out. And then I thought, okay, now they're going to fight. And they both looked at each other. They kind of dropped their hands. And then they just gave each other a big hug. And they both said to each other, love you, bro. And I couldn't believe it,
Wow.
And the crowd went crazy, started, like the good Canadians they are, they started clapping and hooraying and all that shit. And that was, that was a nice, peaceful end to a collision. Now, you and I were both present at the one that probably ranks above them all, and that was the collision up in
St. Paul.
In Winnipeg. Was it Winnipeg?
It was
in
St. Paul.
St. Paul.
And that was like a week into your season joining us.
It was towards the end.
Oh, I'm sorry. A week.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Later about a month.
Yeah. And and that one was, you should somehow rig up your system there and show that play sometime. You should rig it up, show that play. And that was now our good friend, Mr. What's his name? The kid that
Josh Romansky.
Josh Romansky, good old Norco boy.
Rivers, I've known Norco
since he was in high school. Josh is like Eddie Haskell. He'll be nice to your face, and then he's gonna steal some lemonade and cookies from you. Okay. Josh came in, and again, I'm seeing him come, and the catcher had to extend up to catch a high throw, and he put his helmet into that guy's ribs, and it was a complete and utter train wreck. And of course, bench is empty, and all hell breaks loose after that. And after we restored order, it was still very, very treacherous waters for the rest of the game.
Yeah, so, that was rough. A catcher went airborne, and Josh went airborne. He could have. The irony is, had he just got down on the ground, because the catcher's jumping, he would have slid well under it. But this kid had a collapsed lung or something, and
he did. He collapsed his lung, and as bodies came out and were squaring off and wrestling and fighting, this poor catcher's on the ground, and I remember a trainer over him saying, "Get away! Come on, back off!" And I see the trainer trying to shield him, because you had 200-pound grown men trying to kill each other, and this guy's on the ground laid out, and there's only so much the three of us could do, which is basically nothing. Stand back and watch.
You got in there. I'm going to try to show it right now for those on YouTube. Okay. I don't know how good this is going to be.
Down a little bit, down. And now it's
too glary.
Yeah. Turn it sideways.
Okay. Anyway, you get the idea. There's a play at the plate. There's Bill blocking it. Well, if you guys want me to get it, I'll send it to you. Bill Barnes blocking it, breaking up the fight in there. Bench is empty. Yeah, I'll get it to whoever wants to see it. If for those not watching on YouTube, but a nasty collision. There's a better look of it here. Let me pull up this other video. It's tough with cameras. It's not that this first shot is tough to see, but it's the second one. You really see him. Here we go. Oh, just like a linebacker drilling a dude. Anyway, not the best quality, but you get the idea. That was a rough collision. And Romansky, and
as luck had it, the catcher did not hang on to the ball. Some say, you know what, Bill, call him out just because the way he brought the glove up and then dropped it, he's showing you he had the ball. Some say, oh no, he didn't go in and get it. So 6 of one, half dozen of the other. I called him safe because I guess letter of the law, he was safe. I guess. I don't know. Things would be different nowadays. That was in 2017. So anyway, yeah, that was one of those where, when you're officiating and umpiring that kind of baseball, you're going to have, anytime you can get off the field without somebody being shot, maimed, or killed, you've done a great job. So anyway, that's the way that turned out. And then, so that was a getaway night. We jumped in the car and we're driving to, I believe, Kansas City.
Yeah.
And we got stopped 3 times by 3 different state troopers. And of course, the driver, Mr. Jarbo, used his silver tongue to get out of all 3 tickets.
Yeah, that was something else. What a long night. But collision wise, I will say this, Maynard, that some of the worst collisions I've seen are kind of those accidental ones where there's a throw to first base. The first baseman kind of goes up the line. The runner at first is going, and there's just a natural boom collision, or 2 fielders going back to catch the ball. Second baseman, shortstop, almost decapitate each other. Things of that nature. As far as collisions at the plate, because we umpire so much college baseball, I haven't seen a lot of it, but my years in pro ball and independent pro ball, like you were saying, Bill, we did see some collisions, and every time they went to the ground, you're wondering, like, it was all this energy and toxic masculinity ready to get up and fight. And it was just like, oh, part of the game.
Yeah. And then some of the worst collisions I've seen are 2 outfielders converging on a ball. There's no communication, and they both splatter into each other like bugs on a windshield. And, they get hurt. Both guys get hurt,
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah. Some violent collisions in baseball. Football, you kind of see things coming and maybe a blindside hit or something. But baseball, the collisions you see a lot are just guys focusing on a baseball or something else and running into each other or getting flipped or whatever. So, yeah, good question, Maynard. Thank you for sending that in. Bill, let's see. Any more? Let's see. Sports topics. Are you still holding true to your prediction that the Dodgers will not make the playoffs?
Well, that was before they got.
He's going back now. Okay.
Before they got Trey Turner and Mr. Scherzer. One thing's for sure, that every time Max Scherzer goes to the mound, the Dodgers are going to be in the game. Mm-hmm. But I'll say this. I feel that they will not win the division. Okay. And if they get in, they'll be a wild card, and they will not. I just don't think they have the team chemistry to put it all together.
They got a lot of stars, but that doesn't always spell success, right? I mean, and I mean, Trevor Bauer's not going to be there for anytime soon. The Dodgers are 2.5 games behind San Francisco. Still haven't caught them, and only a game up in the wild card with San Diego kind of nipping at their heels. Mm-hmm. So,
San Diego, that's a big series going on down there.
Big game.
Yeah.
Big game.
So I don't know. We'll see. They're not going to repeat. I'll tell you that right now. I would be willing to bet anybody a Dr. Pepper or a root beer on that. But who knows? Who knows?
Okay.
Baseball's a crazy game.
No,
It's all about momentum. It's all about who's hot at the right time. You know, when the playoffs start, you throw everything out the window.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Dave Roberts can mismanage something, and you never know. Only about a month of the season left, which is crazy to think about, considering 162 game season this year, when it versus the sprint last year, and here we are. So baseball seems to be on schedule. The NFL's on schedule. We'll be starting up here in a couple of weeks. Excited about that. What was I going to ask you? Oh, okay. Let's transition now to as there should have been a transition in the Middle East, but unfortunately, Bill, it's getting worse, I think, in Afghanistan. I don't know what to make of it all. I cannot understand why the majority of the military was pulled out of there before civilians and translators and other well, first of all, Americans are stranded there. Despite what Jen Psaki says, people are stranded there right now. And it's because we pulled the majority of the military out of there. There's still some guys there, but could this have been screwed up any worse?
No. Here, number one, we're taking orders from the Taliban.
Yeah. When the hell did this start? When did we start negotiating with terrorists?
We are no longer a superpower.
No.
I want to thank Joe Biden for that. Okay. And here's the thing too, is, okay, I decide 6 months ago that I don't like my neighborhood anymore. I'm going to move out. I give my landlord 6 months notice. I'm moving in, it's June 1st. I'm moving December 1st. I'm leaving. Okay.
Cool.
November 25th, I decide, shit, I got to get out of here. It's December 1st is almost here. I pack a couple things and I flee. I leave my cars. I leave my diamond rings. I leave all of my valuables behind and say, fuck it. Whoever the parolees that are going to move into my house and they're going to make it a halfway house. I'm leaving all my guns. I'm leaving all my fancy cars. I'm leaving all my good shit behind. So these motherfuckers can take it and use it and go rob and pillage on my dime. Look at how much all the assets, the military hardware that we left behind to the Taliban. What are we doing? At least in Vietnam, we threw shit off a boat.
Yeah.
And we put it in the drink. So the North Vietnamese army couldn't use it. Who was in charge of that?
Yeah. Well, and
that right there is a complete illustration of how completely screwed up this plan was.
Yeah, and if you don't think the rest of the world, you don't think we look like an absolute joke. First of all, did you see the Taliban put on American military equipment and then stage the photo mocking Iwo Jima?
Yeah.
That pissed me off so much. I was like, we need a missile right now to right in between those guys. That's an embarrassment.
That is a complete Democrat. That's right out of the Democrats' playbook, because they're doing the same thing over and over and over again in democratic cities. They're letting the inmates run the asylum. Now, and they're doing it in foreign land.
Yeah.
So it's like,
here's my question.
Are you completely delusional?
Yes, that is the problem. They are delusional, and people are fine with it. Well, at least we're out of there. There's still people stranded there. And now, okay, here's my thing. If you say you support us getting out of there, fine, it is what it is. But just know you also need to say, you should say it publicly, you're fine with the Taliban taking over, torturing and killing people. You're fine with that. And if you are, fine, say it. But people are left behind. What is going to happen, Bill, when some of these Americans that are left behind, what happens if they start to get killed? What happens? Do we just say, well, we left them behind? What is going to happen?
That's what's going to happen under this administration. And then, of course, it's bad enough that you've got the cognitive challenged president who is completely behind the times with his mind and everything else. He can't make good, solid decisions because he is limited in his brain capacity, obviously. But then you got the vice president that's off, vacationing, or I don't know what the fuck she's doing in Southeast Asia and Singapore. What is that trip for? Why is she there?
Someone explain that. Yeah.
Why is she there?
Maybe she's looking for the border and just ended up out there. I don't know. Maybe looking for our southern border, and ended up in Southeast Asia.
Is the border. The Supreme Court yesterday ruled that the rule of entry has to go back to the Trump law, which is if you're waiting for asylum to this country, you wait in Mexico. You're no longer allowed to come and wait here. So that's one good thing. Biden set that aside, and they got it shoved up his ass yesterday by the Supreme Court, at least, who is our one and only firewall to all the madness.
Yeah.
Now, hopefully, we can at least gain the Senate back next year in the midterms. If not, it's going to be even worse than it is now.
Well, we keep saying that
Trinidad and Tobago is going to overthrow the. They're going to do an invasion and take us over. They're going to take Florida.
Oh my goodness. Nice pull. Well, we all keep waiting for, November of 2022, but that's still a long ways away, Bill. I mean, that's still 16 months away or so. And it's
About
like
a year and 3 months.
Yeah,
Well,
a lot of damage can still be done in that time frame. That's even if
the Democrats are making sure they are, because they feel the pressure that, why, we've really fucked up. Well, how can we do better? We can't. Let's just fuck it up even worse. Let's make sure if the Republicans take over in over a year, they're going to have a lot of work to do ahead of them.
Warp speed, indeed.
Let me tell you something. You don't know the hate and the absolute frustration and hate that Obama had because he never had the Senate or the Congress when he was president. Everything he tried to do was completely stonewalled. All right. For 8 years, that guy couldn't do shit. And now, guess what? He's living vicariously through his vice president. And he's loving every minute of it.
Well, when he's not throwing super spreader parties, apparently. Yeah, that's. I think there is a warp speed here for the left to just do as much damage as they can, control as much as they can. And that's to say, because who knows, maybe you buy them enough time where they figure out more ways to sway an election. I don't know. I'm just brainstorming. I'm not accusing. I'm just brainstorming here. 16, 15 months away from an election. That's a long time, Bill.
Yeah. And once again, you're going to see this virus stay pertinent until then, because they'll still be able to manipulate votes with their mail-in system. Period. Full stop.
Full stop. Well, counting down the days here to recall Newsom. That needs to happen. And you know what? If people don't step up and do this, then good for you. That you are voting to be miserable.
Do you know anybody, Matt? You know a lot of people. I know a lot. Do you know anybody that supports Gavin Newsom?
I have not. That's my argument with this whole Joe Biden thing too. Is like the left of the left. I never hear them say one good word. I mean it. One good word about Newsom. I definitely don't hear him say anything about Biden ever. They want to go back and still talk about Trump and all these other stuff. It's like they don't want to live in the present or the future. They want to live in the past. And no one says a good word about Newsom or Biden.
And all these Trump haters were blasting Trump, the orange man who's fucked up, the orange man doing this. Well, guess what? Payback's time now. I don't see you saying shit about how great Biden is. All right. And we're blasting him because he is bad.
Yeah. If you have a favorite sports team, you brag if your team is doing great. You're proud of them, right? When your team sucks, like mine often do, you're very adamant about, oh, they're so bad they can't do anything right. You talk about how bad your team is. Even the most blind allegiance out there, you bash your own team knowing they're not good. but you generally don't stay silent about it. I haven't heard anyone. Just give me one or two, maybe some great accomplishments that we've seen here in 8 months under the Biden administration. Give me some great accomplishment. You can say, well, the pipeline that got taken away. Okay, how you like them gas prices? I mean, there's feelings and then there's facts. There's emotions and there's concrete content. Like, you can feel one way all you want, Bill, not you, but just anybody. Facts don't lie. You can't argue with results, and there haven't been any results. So therefore, maybe that's why we don't ever hear anything.
Nope. And you're right. And all of my Facebook posts blasting our vice president, you know, I don't particularly like her, obviously. It's nothing personal. I just don't like her. And you know what? Everybody who thinks I'm out, you know, oh, Bill, that's bad. Oh, well, you know what? These are the same ones who were making jokes and making cartoons of Trump and his wife back in the day. All right.
Oh yeah.
You know,
calling
you can't have it both ways, guys.
reprehensible names.
Yeah.
Again, accusing him of being a Nazi when his daughter's married to a Jewish guy, all kinds of crazy stuff. Let's just there's no evidence of most of the smearing, but those on the left don't provide much of that. They just call out names. Oh, he's a racist. Okay. Do you have any, is there evidence of that? Or, it's just it's emotions. Everything is emotion based. So how dare you, Bill, mock the vice president for being in Southeast Asia? How dare you mock her? We don't know her reason for being there, but how dare you mock her, Bill?
Well, I don't know. I don't know why she's there. Honest to God, no one has said why. Is it a goodwill trip? Well, you know what? You got to there's things that need to be taken care of here in the country. Now, understandably, the border situation is way over her head. Okay, in fact, probably doing a crossword puzzle is over her head. So I get it. Okay, I get it. She has never done anything. It just astonishes me that it comes time to put up or shut up, and she can't do anything but laugh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, she is just, and that's our option if they decide to, put Joe in the outback. That's our option.
And what for example, I don't believe in a lot of the policies, on the Democrat side of things. Okay. But look at Obama, for instance. Okay. I wasn't a fan, but he really was a damn good speaker. I mean,
yeah,
he knew how to run control a room.
He had his
incredible speaker.
Mind.
Yeah.
He had full control of his mind.
I hear Biden speak and I'm just he can't put two words together. Kamala Harris, she just laughs. I mean, it's just what are you bringing to the table?
It's a good thing. The other day when he spoke, it's a good thing she had a mask on, because I guarantee she was laughing her ass off underneath that thing.
Oh, it's painful.
And I mean, it's sad. It truly is sad that mail-in voting has led to this.
Well, there's going to be more of it unless people. I don't know what people got to do. I don't think mail-in voting is, I'm not saying that's why the election is how it is. You can, or whoever can, but we can't have that. We need it back. No one wants to get back to normal. That's the problem, is that we need to get back to election day. Go out into public, go into a place, wear your mask. If you're vaccinated, good for you. Go vote in person. Well, people can't vote in person. They don't have the time or, whatever. So there's going to be an excuse for everything. We've seen that through and through. So it's time for some changes in the living arrangements, Bill.
You think?
It's been a long time. Let's take a breather, take a breath. I'm out of coffee, which you guys, I'm sure, can tell. But Bill, you've been working like a madman. You getting enough sleep? I mean, what's going on?
Sleep? What is that? I mean, unless I'm propped up, with in the passenger seat of a car or asleep at the wheel driving, I'm not getting any sleep. No, sleep is something that. Now, a lot of work lately, a lot of long hours. What else is there to do?
Just podcast, go see family, friends, both of your friends, whoever they are. And yeah, Donna, the lovely girlfriend. Did she like the show last week?
I think she did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. She liked it. You know, a couple things. I think, yeah, she did. I saw her aunt over the weekend and I showed her the clip where I spoke of her and she loved it. And she thought, that I'm some big worldwide broadcaster. She goes, how many people saw this? And I go, Annette, the entire world. I'm surprised that your phone's not ringing off the hook right now.
Bill Barnes, as smooth as a gravy sandwich. We love him.
Absolutely. Yeah. So
doing the Lord's work.
She's getting better. She's doing well.
Glad to hear it.
We went out to lunch the other day down in Canyon Lake and had a pretty good little meal and a good time. And so, yeah, she's doing better.
That's cool, man. Good to hear. We didn't get a chance to hook up last week, but again, you're working 25 hours a day, man. It seems like, and just top secret missions. I mean, one day you got to write a book about all the secret intel and intelligence that you've, explored the past year or so.
Well, I was sent on what was called a hot shot yesterday, and I can tell you this, that I didn't think it'd be possible to drive a vehicle from Compton, California to San Francisco Airport in less than 5.5 hours, but it was accomplished.
Well done, sir. Well done indeed. Just doing your job. Just doing your job and getting some sleep. I hope, man. What you need is to like work out and like turn the AC down to like 60 and just sleep for like 15 hours. How's that sound?
That would be great. That would be fantastic. The problem is that I think if I slept that long, I'd never wake up.
Fantastic. Bill, this is totally random, I know, but I saw this actually a few times. I see it in my car when I'm driving for Uber. I see it, I don't know, at the grocery store. Maybe you're different. I don't understand this comfort level with people talking on the phone around other people. Like, I know there's emergencies or whatever. I've been around people that just stand next to you and talk, sometimes even on speakerphone loudly, like their issue. They have no concept of just privacy and maybe just not talking on the phone while you're around other people. Do you see this out in public life at all?
Yeah. They're rude Democrats. They're Newsom supporters. That's the kind of people that do that. They have no, it's all about them. They have no care for their fellow community member. It's all about them.
No self-awareness. Like, I don't want to hear you argue with your girlfriend or whatever on the phone. Like, what are you doing? Unbelievable. And then
almost as bad as some dumb fuck wearing a mask by themselves driving a car. That I don't get.
Or jogging outside with no one around them. How about that one? That one's interesting. Yeah, in the car. There's caution and then there's just delusion. And I just the line, it's not a fine line anymore. It's out there.
They're overlapping.
Very much so. Too much. And finally, Bill, the last sports thing. Did you see? I don't even know what it means. The Pac-12, who we've been very critical of, the Pac-12 conference, they formed this alliance with the Big Ten and the ACC.
Money.
Of course.
Money.
But what does it mean? Just
money.
It's a alliance, a fancy term that just means more money. Okay.
Money. You can't beat them. Let's jump in bed with them and get some money.
Well, the Big Ten and ACC are very well run. So maybe the Pac-12 is just like, hey, how do you guys do things? I mean, maybe I don't know.
Well, the Pac-12 has obviously been run by a bunch of elitist, self-serving Democrats for the last few years. And that's probably what has prompted them to the level of incompetence that they have now achieved.
True. Very true. What'd you always say? Birkenstock wearing
hairy armpitted, haven't showered in 3 days people.
Yeah. That's so funny. Well, Bill, the good people at Rio Hondo Prep are have a big game this weekend, their first game of the new season, playing their rivals, Pasadena Poly. They want to hear well wishes from their number one fan, Bill Barnes. So Rio Hondo Prep taking on Poly this Friday to start their season. What do you think of that?
Go team, go.
Go team, go. That's right. I love it.
No, hey, best of luck to you. I feel like I'm an honorary Rio Hondo Prep alum, since I think that's what this show is catered to, obviously. and when I come on Wednesdays, that's the alumni's guilty pleasure is watching me throw out a few F-bombs every once in a while because they weren't allowed to speak that way when they were kids. So perhaps, hey,
we sandwich you in. We sandwich you in between good people. Good, Monday and Friday, we try to put you in the middle, right?
Don't take any give ups. Step on them when you can, and run up the score and win.
Yeah, I love it, Bill. I love it. Well said. And we are going to get you out for a coin toss sometime. I think this season is a time to make that happen. Sometime.
I'm ready. Just let me know.
Yeah, and we'll get you some more Rio gear. We need you sporting more Rio Hondo Prep gear for sure. Bill, anything else today? I appreciate you joining me Wednesday. I know you're a busy man, but we've done it again. We fooled everyone again on the weekly Wednesday weigh-in.
No, I think we've pretty much hit it, covered it. Hopefully, the momentum is still to bring back this state and unseat Newsom. And whoever the Republican is, I particularly like Larry Elder, but whoever it is, I don't care as long as we get that son of a bitch out of there. I understand that Harris is going to come out and speak on his behalf here, and that will only hurt him. So I'm glad she's coming. That will only hurt him because there are a lot of people that don't like her. And like I say, the people that do, and the people that like him, they feel complacent and they're not going to vote. So good. Stay home.
Well, someone will vote for him, as I said. But
keep eating your government block cheese that's being sent to you. I love it.
Yeah, well, you're working all these hours. We got a lot of people still sitting around. We got to get rid of the unemployment. We got to get people back to work. Still help wanted signs everywhere, Bill. I don't go out too often, but I'm driving around a lot. And I mean, people can't get enough help. People need workers.
The service industry, restaurants, bars, etc. The service is so shitty because nobody's working. And I can't get mad at the one waitress who's serving about 50 people. I can't get mad at her. She's working her ass off. I can't get mad at her because I'm getting shitty service. I'm getting mad at the people who have created this monster, and that is our governor.
You're right. And as long as it's a county by county thing, I will gladly go to other counties outside of LA to do my business, to go to a restaurant or a bar or even grocery shop. I don't care.
I don't wear San Bernardino County, where I live, thank God, they have no mask mandate. And I get dirty looks when I go in places with no mask on, and I don't give a shit. Good. I am exercising my right to not wear a mask.
Good. And if their mask works, what do they care?
Great.
Come on.
Great.
You're wearing a mask. You're safe. Stop.
Cover up the rest of your ugly fucking face too while you're at it. All
right. Well said, Bill Barnes. Man, I could talk with you more, but I know you're busy. I'm busy. You got to get some sleep, Bill. And Vandalay Industries, your t-shirt there, I'm sure we'll be calling.
I got a couple calls to make. We got some import export things on the back burner that I got to adhere to. My boss George Costanza wants to hear from me, see what I'm doing. So yeah,
good.
Yeah, my plate is full.
You're a busy man. We'll try to record next week, and one of these, I don't know, we'll find a time. I've got a week off here upcoming. We'll have to maybe record and have a little happy hour. That was a big hit not too long ago when we were able to partake in a little liquid libations.
We need to go. What we need to do is we need to find a get home safe friendly tavern or saloon that will put us in a corner somewhere, and we'll do a live show in front of a bunch of drunks and see how that works out.
I love it. I know a place we might be able to go. We don't even need to say the name of the establishment. We can just go, and I'll let you kind of put that together. What do you think?
I'll see what I can do.
Yeah, it can be wherever. If someone wants their name out, if they don't want, we know where we could go.
We can advertise, get them some business in that day.
People don't have to be on video. They can yell from the back if they just want their voice heard. The Aldinis of the world and such. So I think that would be a lot of fun, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Let's do that. Okay, let's plan on that. You might have to do some, well, not day drinking, but you might have to start a little earlier than you used to, Bill.
I'll take one for the team, whatever works.
Awesome.
You know, here at Vandalay Industries, it's help your other man. You know,
Yeah.
reach out. You know, ask not what Vandalay Industries can do for you, but what you can do for Vandalay Industries.
Yeah, no kidding. Start at 10, off by noon. Absolutely. So, Bill, let's make that happen seriously here in the next few weeks. And to the listeners out there, send us your questions and ideas for future shows. Always appreciate the support. Bill Barnes, another episode of the Weekly Wednesday Weigh-In. We'll talk to you next week.
Adios.
Another episode in the books with the man, the myth, the legend, Bill Barnes on the Weekly Wednesday Weigh-In. Looking forward to chatting with Bill already again next week. And I love his idea about setting up a shop in a tavern somewhere, maybe in a corner, so that no one can see what's in front of us. We just hear the audience and they can yell at us and say whatever they want. And you just see what's behind Bill and I. That could be a lot of fun. I don't know if we could pull it off, but it's a great idea. And if you guys have any ideas, be sure to send them our way here at the Get Home Safe podcast. As you are well aware, if you're a loyal listener, there's many ways to listen to the podcast, to follow the podcast and contribute, not financially necessarily, just contribute in ways by sending us your questions, your topics, your ideas, whatever it may be. We appreciate hearing from the fans. We've received a few gifts from fans. We're not looking for that, but of course, anything that's sent is appreciated. Bill Barnes on the Weekly Wednesday Weigh-In, of course, sandwiched around, well, in the middle of kind of the better episodes. We'll say we got a great guest on Friday, as we often do. And of course, Mondays now we're recording with Mark Carson, talking about Real Honda Prep football during the season here anyway. But that's the plan ongoing. If you don't follow us on social media, feel free to. Our Facebook and Instagram page is Get Home Safe Podcast. Our Twitter handle is Get Home Safe Pod, and our email address is gethomesafepodcast@yahoo.com. Send us your topics, questions, ideas, anything really. We love to hear from you, just like you hear from us Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays here at the Get Home Safe Podcast. Our guest on Friday is Rod Bazuzzi, class of 1992 from Rio Hondo Prep, and a current Huntington Beach police officer who has worked as a detective, and he's very proud of his RHP heritage, but we'll talk about his career a little bit as well. So be sure to tune in on Friday for that. On Friday also is the Rio Hondo Prep season opener for their football season against Pasadena Poly. If you are free, head on down to Irwindale to Care Park at 7:00 for that kickoff. And again, if you haven't heard the interview from Monday between Mark Carson and Chris Smoke separately, of course, on the podcast, be sure to go back and take a listen to that to get you ready for the game Friday night. So that's what's in store for us here upcoming. And we look forward to hearing from you guys. However you reach out to us. Again, YouTube channel, give us a like, subscribe to the podcast, like, comment, all those good things. It's important for us to continue to grow, and gives us an idea of the things you guys like to hear as we put together more and more content in moving forward. So guys, have a great rest of your week. We will see you on Friday with the interview with Rod Bazuzzi, and of course the big Real Honda Prep football game. If you can't get out to the game, try to tune in on Facebook or wherever you can. Support those RHP cares as they go on a journey for a new football season, as the tradition does in fact continue. But until then, guys, no matter what you're doing, whether you're out on the town or rounding third base, get home safe.